Hello everyone, it's me Clouds. Today in this video we're going to be ranking every single Inanimate Insanity character from worst to best. This is the third New Year special and basically there's about 38 characters in this series, and Inanimate Insanity is a series or object show. And it's a very good series. I suggest you watch it. I just want to make it completely clear with you that there will be major spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen the show or haven't seen all of it, please do not watch this video because it will be spoiled. Other than that, let's go. Hope you enjoy. Now, number 38 is Trophy. Trophy is like a knife, as you can see literally right next to him. However, he just doesn't have any personality. His whole purpose is to be mean to others. His whole purpose is just making others feel bad, sad, and just like really mad. It's just not good. Trophy is not a good character. I just really find him annoying every single time I see him. I just don't like Trophy. Like, that's it. Like, let's move on now. Number 37 is the Cherries. In my opinion, I don't like the Cherries because of what they did. They sent Marshmallow to Mars, all because the joke that they made didn't really sit well with people. And even though they did apologize, it still doesn't really match well with me. And even if they never did it, they would still be quite low because of how forgettable they are, because of how early they got out of the series. Number 36 is Doe. In my opinion, Doe's alleged little sister Bo, is just way better than Doe himself, because in my opinion, Doe is just way too derpy. And even though I do like derpy characters, well, it's an exception for Doe. And, well, Doe only stayed for one episode before he got eaten by Yin Yang, which is another character that will appear soon. Number 35 is Tissues. Tissues is gross. But, Tissues as a character is actually growing on me as a whole, and I can respect that. You know, when this video comes out, Tissues will actually probably be higher on the list, you know? Tissues is just growing on me, and I think that's very, very cool. I love it every single time he sneezes, and I wish we could have seen more of him. Number 34 is Kettle. Kettle, in my opinion, is a very forgettable character as well. And in my opinion, every single time I see Kettle, I'm kind of like, wait, that character exists? And yeah, that's basically it. I don't really have much to say for Kettle, just not a character I'm really fond of, that's all. 33 is Life Ring. Life Ring did sell his entire team in episode 1 for the first challenge, and that's mainly the reason why I didn't really like him. He always advertised himself as being the best at saving people and being the best at doing this and that, but he's never really that good at it. Although he was pretty good at season 2, you know, with that one appearance. Number 32 is Pepper and number 31 is Salt. The reason why I put these two together is because in my opinion they are literally like nearly the exact same character. And well, the reason why I put Salt in front of Pepper is because Salt has done a bit more things than Pepper. Pepper's kind of just there, but Salt has done a bit more things, like kind of have that whole obsession with OJ. And even though they did have their own reality show / object show, it can't really do much for me. They're still quite annoying in my opinion. They're like the pencil and match of BFDI. Number 30 is Cheesy. Well, in my opinion, Cheesy is a very different character from all the rest. He's super unique. But over time, Cheesy became less about making other people laugh and kind of more about hurting other people, which eventually got him eliminated. However, you can tell near the end that Cheesy tried being a good character again, and especially with that one appearance in season 3. Number 29 is Candle. At the start of the series, I actually liked Candle more, however over time Candle seemed to be more evil and evil and evil. You know, I saw Candle as that peaceful character that everyone loved, but, you know, over time Candle just, I don't know man, Candle was getting a bit too evil for my liking. That's basically it. Now, I do love Apple because of how dumb she is, but a part of me also doesn't like Apple because of how clingy she is to Marshmallow. I mean, have you seen some of the episodes on how clingy Apple is? It's absolutely crazy. I didn't really like what Bo did to Apple, pretending that Apple said all those mean things about Marshmallow when she didn't. It was a bit sad. and Apple didn't really deserve it. Number 27 is Clover. Clover is a very sweet character. In fact, I actually feel quite guilty putting Clover this kind of low, you know? Clover really went through a lot in Season 3 with the whole luck thing. She loved the luck until, unfortunately, Box died by her luck, and then she was sad and suffering, and that kind of makes me feel sad as well, and it made most people feel sad actually when seeing it. Number 26 is Soap. Soap at the beginning of the season was, as Nicole says, a me freak, and just always spent her entire time cleaning, and that was it, and it was getting very annoying. However, after Soap wanted to do less of the cleaning and wanted to become more of her own character, and well, before she got eliminated, she put up that whole speech. It just really gives me chills, you know, and it made me like her more. Number 25 is Fan. Some people will hate me for putting Fan this low, as he had a lot of things happen to him, especially with the egg. And Fan is actually the character most like me, to be honest, because Fan overthinks a lot and is bad at talking to people, sadly. But my main downside to him is that he's just a bit boring to me for some reason. I don't know why. And, you know, that makes him a bit worse. Number 24 is Marshmallow. Just like Fan, Marshmallow has had a bunch of things happen to her, like with Apple, Bo, that whole knife bullying thing and way more. She's just a bit better than Fan because sometimes I can relate to her and I don't know why. And yes, some people will also hate me for putting Marshmallow this low. Number 23 is Baseball. I do appreciate Baseball for trying to fix the rivalry between Nicole, Balloon and Suitcase, and that whole situation gave him a lot of character development actually, but he did it in a pretty bad way that also kind of made him seem like a jerk too. And he is also pretty boring sometimes. I feel like in Season 1 he had more personality and was less grumpy. Out of Balloon, Nicole, Suitcase and Baseball, Baseball is the worst. Number 22 is Box. Even though for most of the competition, Box literally was just, well, non-existent, I guess you could say. I'm basing this on the final episode of Season 12, when Box actually could speak like the rest of the contestants. Box is kind of like Marshmallow in my opinion, just a little better, and the whole backstory with Box is incredibly interesting to know. Number 21 is Bot. Now the reason that I put this separate from Bo is because I think they are two completely different characters. While they technically are the same, but not the same soul, they have different personalities. I like Bo more though, and even though I like Bo more than Bot, Bot is still a nice wholesome character I enjoy seeing, to be honest. It's just that the original Bo has done much more things. Number 20 is Microphone. Microphone wasn't a very liked character because of how loud she was and how much she used her loudness for victory, but then everyone including me started to like Microphone because of that whole incredible plot of Taco, and her managing to stand up against Taco in the end, which gave her a lot of development. Number 19 is Test Tube. Test Tube is sort of similar to Fan. I mean, they are like best friends, but I like Test Tube more than Fan because Test Tube has got more things to him. He's incredibly nerdy and smart, he has his own secret laboratory, and I find his character more interesting. I find it sad that Test Tube tried to take the egg away from Fan at one point. It wasn't really cool of him, but at least he apologized. Number 18 is Pickle. I wish we could have seen Pickle more or see him compete in another season, because we just saw Pickle hang out with Taco, who ended up betraying him, and that's really it. But we did get to see Pickle reminisce the memories he had with Taco for a bit in Season 2, and that was interesting. I really just hope to see more of him, that's all. Number 17 is Cabby. Cabby's elimination was quite unfair, to be honest. Test Tube just held too much of a grudge, but at least she rejoined the game a few episodes later. I think Cabby is the main character of Season 3 if you don't count previous season contestants, but at the start I didn't like her because all she cared about was getting information out of people for her files. Number 16 is Silver Spoon. Silver Spoon definitely pulled the biggest plays in Season 3 by far. I honestly thought he would get eliminated so much earlier, but he made it so far in the series and it's very surprising seeing him get there in the show. I also think he makes the eliminations like twice as interesting as suspenseful when he's there, and I love his posh accents. W voice actor for real. Number 15 is Bomb. I was actually thinking of putting Bomb lower on this list, but after careful consideration, I realised how funny and goofy he is, so I just can't put him low. Anytime the show is getting a bit too depressing or sad, Bomb is just that cheerful character that makes you feel happy again. Same with Lightbulb, who will appear soon. Number 14 is the floor. It's funny whenever there is food on the floor eats it all up like it's no tomorrow and cheers yes when he eats it. And how he just randomly teleports to eavesdrop on conversations. The episode where he refuses to leave / get eliminated is amazing, and also amazing when he eventually co-hosts. Number 13 is Nickel. To be honest, I was thinking of putting Nickel way lower on the list, like way lower, because of how rude he was to Balloon and Suitcase in Season 2. But thankfully in Season 3 he tried fixing his mistakes, and even tried making friends with Balloon, which I appreciate. In Season 1 though, Nickel was just kind of there like most characters back then, and he got eliminated early, so we didn't see much of him unfortunately. Number 12 is Balloon. Kind of the same as Nickel really, just a lot more complicated to explain this time. I'm glad Balloon turned out to be a good character once and for all in Season 2, because if Balloon kept his Season 1 ways, then honestly Balloon would be worse than Trophy. And Trophy, as you know in this video, is last. Number 11 is Bo. For some reason I actually prefer Bo in Season 1 than Season 2, because Bo used to be quite fun and that character that everyone loved. And even though Bo still had that fun personality in Season 2, even though she was dead, she also seemed to be more evil and didn't really care about anyone except for Marshmallow. And when she controlled Apple to say mean things when Apple wasn't actually saying them, it really sparked a bit of hate for her for me. Number 10 is Goo. Honestly, Goo is the best character out of all the new Season 3 characters. He's always so cheerful, I mean he does have a thing called the Cheer Factory, and he is incredibly wholesome. Honestly, we need more friends like Goo in our lives. He's just too good, but not as good as the next 9 characters that will appear. Whenever Paintbrush gets so mad to the point that fire comes out of Paintbrush's head, it kinda gives me the chills every time I witness it. I like the short interactions Paintbrush has with Marshmallow as well, and I especially love the interactions between Paintbrush and Lightbulb. It's just so funny. I have no idea why they decided to make Paintbrush so angry, but I think it was a brilliant idea. Number 8 is OJ. Pickle was a bit right, he did play Season 1 a little too competitively, but it did work out in the end because he ended up winning Season 1 and rented a whole hotel for everyone, which was a very bold move of him. He also was a very chill character to be honest, although I didn't really like him in Season 2 Episode 7 because as a host, he eliminated Suitcase for no reason and relied on a coin flip to see which team won, but other than that, he's an amazing character. Number 7 is Suitcase. I don't understand why every list that I watch, Suitcase is so low, because Suitcase has done so many good things. Suitcase helped everyone start liking Balloon again, and stood up against Nickel in a fantastic way. Not to mention that she also won Inanimate's Insanity Season 2, although I still think that Knife should have won instead. Number 6 is Paper. People also tend to put Paper quite low, which is sad. The whole situation with evil Paper put a lot on Paper, but it is also quite entertaining to watch, and it was one of the first times Inanimate Insanity actually had plot, lol. Paper and OJ's friendship is one of the best in the show, and I love the fact that he is like the co-host of the hotel that OJ owns. Number 5 is Taco. This scene playing right now always gives me chills, and it completely shocked me when I first saw it. I mean, come on, the dumb character we all knew ended up having like 500 IQ? It's incredible, and for some reason I actually feel bad for Taco in Season 2 when Microphone eliminated herself, although I feel like Taco was more evil in Season 2 than Season 1. Number 4 is Lightbulb. Remember when I said that Bomb was that character that made you feel happy whenever something depressing was happening in Inanimate Insanity? Well, Lightbulb is like that, but 5 times more effective. I don't remember the last time I didn't find one of Lightbulb's jokes funny. And he also has that leader persona, which I noticed very well. Number 3 is Blueberry. Blueberry was already one of my favourite characters even when he was in his depressed era, but it was sad seeing him get eliminated first. But then he came up with a genius play to rejoin the game with little to no effort, and that episode was probably the best of Season 3 by far. He honestly is a great character. I wish he was never eliminated to begin with and hope you got to see him for more episodes. Number 2 is Knife. Knife was like the same as Trophy when he was first introduced, but over time you could see him develop a pretty good personality. He was still quite rude, but he wasn't the same overly vicious character he used to be, And in the finale, when him and Suitcase competed, he stopped acting rude completely. When he sacrificed himself to save Marshmallow, it was the best scene in Inanimate Insanity by far. But he can't be number one, and that is Yin Yang. I'm pretty sure none of you are surprised, as every video has Yin Yang high on the list, or it's number one. And also they are like the most loved object show character in history. But there's a reason why. Yin Yang being two characters in one creates some extremely entertaining scenes between them. And yes, while Yin Yang did some pretty mean stuff in season 2, that doesn't really make them any worse for me. You know it adds up why Yin Yang got immunity for every elimination in season 3. So I hope you enjoyed. That was that. I'm really sorry that for the first few characters my speech was kind of bad. I wasn't using a script, but after Fan I started using like a script, so my speech was a lot better. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I just said that, didn't I? Like and subscribe if you want, and goodbye.